Welcome students for online classes. Okay, today we'll continue the second chapter, that is basic concepts of economics, where earlier we studied the six concepts, that is first is human wants, value and price, wealth, welfare, goods and utility. Today we'll continue with that chapter. Now the next concept is the capital. Okay, now what is this capital? Capital means all those man-made goods which are used for further production. Now what is this further production? Maybe to produce any sort of good, or to do any you convert any raw material into finished product, maybe the machine or train, even train, buildings, etc. All these are used for the further production. So all these things can be termed as the capital. What does capital mean? All those man-made goods which are used for further production. This is termed as capital. Now even there is human capital. Now what is this human capital? Human capital is a skill, knowledge or ideas or any plans which is made by a particular individual for the production process. That is known as the human capital. Now even capital can be termed as money or income. How it will be termed as money or income in the production process? While starting a business, what happens? You need to invest some of the money. At that particular point of time, what happens when you invest the money in the company? That money, that particular income or money for that particular company will be the capital. That is known as capital. Okay. Now the next thing is there are many classifications of capital, where the first classification is fixed and circulating capital. Okay, now what is this fixed and circulating capital? First we'll go for the fixed capital. What is fixed capital? A particular capital used again and again for the further production. You purchase a machinery in the starting of your business. You use that machinery for a long, maybe for 1 year or 2 year. You have that particular machinery fixed. So that is the fixed capital, where you will not change the machinery regularly, like month wise or day wise. You will not change. That is known as fixed capital. Now what is the circulating capital? Circulating capital is used only once in the production process. Okay, used only once in the production process will be the raw material. Now maybe raw material or diesel or fuel which will be used for the production process. The raw material can be sugar cane or any wheat, paddy, all those things. Okay, all these things are called as circulating capital, where it is used only once in the production process. Okay, now the second is the sunk and floating capital. Now what is sunk capital? Sunk capital can be put into use only once, single use. Like any particular, say for example, I'll take a chair. What a chair can do, you can go and sit, you sit there. So that is only single use. In the same way, printing machine, what you can only print your copies or anything, that is single use. Now what is this floating capital? Floating capital is a capital where you can put the several use. I give an example of human being. What does a human being does? Human being will do n number of, he will run, he will walk, he will sit, he will jump, all the things, he will think, all the things, he will eat. Many n number of things can be done by the human being. That is known as the floating capital, where a particular commodity can be put into many use. Okay, what is sunk capital? Only single use can be done with that particular commodity. Okay, the next is the remunerative and auxiliary capital. Now what is remunerative capital? The name itself tells remuneration, where you will earn money. Okay, payment made for the workers for the production process. Okay, payment made for the workers, or any wages given, or any food given in spite of payment, all those things comprises of the remunerative capital. Now what is this auxiliary capital? Auxiliary capital are the man-made goods which helps in the production process. Okay, the man-made goods which helps in the production process will be the machines or equipments which a man makes for the helping of the labor or the worker. This is known as auxiliary capital. Now the next is material and personal capital. Okay, first material capital. Material capital are all those capital which can be touched and felt, where you transfer from one to another, where you give a particular commodity. For example, I give my pencil to you, so there is a transferment. So this is where you touch and feel any particular commodity, where okay, when capital comes, there money comes. When you go to a shop, you purchase a pen. In spite of that, you give money, where there is exchangement of some process. This is known as the material capital. Okay, now what is this personal capital? The energy, habit which contributes to make a person efficient. Maybe yoga, maybe medication, or maybe reading, watching anything good. All those things comprises of the personal capital, where your mind will explore, where you will think of doing new things, where you think of doing any new structure in that particular economy, when this particular thing comes, that is known as personal capital. Okay, next is money, real and debt capital. Okay, now what is this? As the name tells, what is money capital? Where the involvement of money comes, using money for the production process. Okay, to buy the equipments, to buy the raw materials, to buy any machinery, what you need? You need money. In the same way, what is real capital? Real capital are the physical stock of the production. Physical stock in the sense which can be touched and felt. For example, the machinery, or equipments or raw materials, all those things, the physical stock which you can process under the production, that is known as real capital. Now the next thing is debt capital. Now what is this debt capital? Debt capital are the wealth which you purchase or which you borrow from others, like maybe the shares or debentures. Now what happens under shares is that you purchase share of other company, or other people buy the share of your company for what? For the betterment of your company. So they invest in your company, so you will get money. In spite of that, you will give a promissory note for them. By a promissory note, in the sense, the note term telling that you have invested so much in your company. So this is the debt capital. Okay, now the next is the production and consumption capital. Now what is this production? Production capital means helps the labor in the production process. What helps the labor in the production process is the raw materials or tools or equipments, all those things. When you produce something, what is the main thing? First you need to be having some money to invest. Later on what happens? Later on what will you do? You buy any raw material, then machinery, then you convert your raw materials into finished goods. This is the production capital. Okay, next thing is the consumption capital. What happens? It indirectly helps the worker. How it indirectly helps? The worker needs food, the worker needs clothes, the worker needs some sort of money. So this is known as a consumption process, where which he uses with the income given for his personal use, that is known as consumption capital. Now the next thing is internal and external capital. Now what is this internal capital? This is termed as a domestic savings. Domestic savings in the sense your personal or your nation's savings. What happens? When you earn money for your company, you will not go and give it to other companies, so that our company has got so much profit, even you get some equal profit. You may not give that. So that is known as a domestic savings. Now what is this external capital? The export import things. Now what happens? When you export or import, you will gain money in spite of the goods sent, or you will give money for the goods which you receive. So this is the external capital where you purchase and buy things from the overseas, that is the external boundaries of our current economy. Okay, these are some of the classification or types of capital. Okay, now the next concept is money. Okay, now what is money? Money is widely a particular thing or a particular paper which is widely accepted as a exchange of goods and settling debts, that is known as money. So money is termed as the currency notes plus coins plus demand deposits. Okay, now what is currency notes? Currency notes are the notes where 10 rupee, 20 rupee, 50 rupee, those are the notes. Coins are 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 5 rupee coins. Now what is this demand deposit? Demand deposit means the money which you deposit in the bank, that is known as demand deposits. Okay, where you can withdraw the money with check, or you can go for a ATM, all those things, or you have credit cards, you want to purchase something, all these things comprises of the demand deposits. Now who issue this money? The money, there is one thing, all the denominations of money is issued by RBI, that is the central bank, Reserve Bank of India. Only 1 rupee coins and notes are issued by the government of India. Okay, that is a small difference, where each and every denomination from 2 rupees till 2000 rupees note, the money is issued by the RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India, and only 1 rupee notes and coins are issued by the government of India. And this money is known as the legal tender. Why it is known as legal tender? Because it is accepted everywhere, and money is termed as the medium of exchange. So this particular thing is known as the medium of exchange, where you can exchange anything for everything from money, that is known as money. Okay, there are money can be accepted everywhere. It is accepted everywhere. Even you go outside India, when you exchange the money for their money, for example, you exchange your Indian rupee for US dollar, at that time you can even spend the money with there. Money keeps a very prominent role in your personal life or in the economy, so that you can purchase anything for money. And another thing is the liquid asset. Now what is this liquid asset? Anything which is exchanged for goods. For example, I will be having a land, I will be having no money, I will be my account balance, my bank balance will be zero, and the cash which I held in my hand will be also zero. So at that time I cannot go to a shop and tell, I'll give my land or property, you give me some rice, or you give me some eatables, you give me some fruits. You cannot tell that. In exchangement process, you need to be having some money, so that you can exchange your money for anything in which you buy. That is termed as money. Okay, the next concept is the income. What is income? The result of capital used in production. The result of capital used in production means result. Okay, in the beginning of the year you work so much, in the beginning of the month you work, in the end of the month what will happen? You will gain some of the salary, or you will gain some money. Okay, when it comes to the production process, what happens? You produce the things so hard that you need to give the money for the workers, and you need to have some sort of profit also. After the production, you will get a good profit. So at that time, you can give the salary to all the workers, and even you can enjoy with that particular profit. That is known as the income. Okay, now the next concept is the production. Okay, everybody knows what is production. A material transformed from one to another. Okay, for example, sugarcane can be transformed into sugar. That is a production process, where you turn one particular raw material from to the finished goods. Okay, now potato can be processed to lace, all these things. No, all these things are the production process. Okay, a person who does all these things, that he is known as a producer. Who is a producer? A person who creates utility. The producer, a person who creates utility. Now what happens? Who creates utility? A producer. How a utility can be created? When you produce something, what happens? A particular consumer will be wanting any particular commodity. At that time, when a producer produces anything, he will create utility. He will be having satisfaction, and even the consumer will be having satisfaction while buying. This is the production process. Okay, now the next thing is the factors of production. The factors of production are the main thing which comes under the production process. Now what does this mean? Anything that helps in the production process of production of a commodity or a service. Okay, in the production process, what happens? You need to be having a particular thing or commodity or any property or anything for the production process. You cannot produce anything anywhere. You need to be having some sort of machinery. You need to be having some sort of equipments to produce those particular commodities. So the factor inputs means the conversion of raw materials into finished goods. With the help of labor, with the help of the machineries, what happens? You can convert all these things into the finished goods. Okay, now what is this? A non-factor inputs means the immediate goods in the sense which can be cultivated easily. That is a raw material, where you get raw materials easily so that it can be converted. Okay, this is non-factor inputs. The main factors of production are four, that is land, labor, capital, and organization or enterprise, which is known by everyone. Now what does land does? Land, in normal sense, what we tell, what is land? The surface of the earth, we tell that. But under economics, we tell that it includes not only the surface of earth but also the free gifts of nature. Okay, now what happens? You will be having a land and you want to cultivate something. When you cultivate, what happens? You need proper rain, you need to be having proper irrigation facility, you need to be having proper sunlight. All those things also comprises of a proper cultivation. So land not only is the surface of the earth but also the free gifts of nature, free gifts given by the nature for us also comprises. This also easily helps for us for the cultivation process. Okay, now the next thing is the labor. Why labor is necessary? Labor is necessary for doing any particular work or for doing any particular plannings for purchasing of a machinery. All these things comprises of a labor. All type of human work, physical or mental, done with the view to earn income. The main objective. What is the main objective? The main objective is to earn income. That is known as the labor, where the physical work can be any transferring goods or doing any machinery things. Now what is this mental work? Mental work is the knowledge, the efficiency, the skill, the ideas, the plans which a worker does for the production process. That is known as the mental work. Okay, another thing here, what happens? A particular person who works, even for example a mother. What does a mother does? Mother works in your home. She will cook you, she will teach you. Even she works, she cannot be termed as a laborer because she is doing all those things from her satisfaction without the view of earning any income or money. Okay, this particular mother may not term as worker. Okay, only when the view comes to earn income, that particular structure comes for the laborer. Okay, now the next thing is capital. What is capital? Wealth or any good which is used for the further production. To do the further production, maybe the machineries, the equipments, all those things comes under capital. Now the next thing is the Organization or enterprise. Organization is also termed as enterprise, where what do? The service of an entrepreneur who controls, organizes and undertakes all risk. He is termed as the that particular thing is termed as organization. A person who undertakes all risk is the organizer. Okay, one who organizes, one who plans, one who manages the business action, all those things, one who manages is known as organizer, and the organization which manages all these things is known as the organization, where the entrepreneur is controlled, that you need to have proper building facility, you need to be having proper efficient workers. So all these things the organization keeps into place. This is regarding the factors of production. The factors of production are four, that is land, labor, capital and organization, which is very much necessary for a production process. Okay, now the next thing is consumption. Okay, when consumption comes, it is not necessary you eat things. Even you purchase a chair, you sit on that, that is also known as the consumption process. Okay, what is consumption? The destruction or lessening of goods and services to satisfy human wants. That is known as consumption. You think, for example, you think that I need to be having I need to eat chocolate, I need to sit, I need to sleep, I need to lie down. All these things are human wants, where you use any particular commodity for your own want. That is known as consumption. Under consumption, another concept comes, the sustainable consumption. Now, what is this sustainable consumption? Before knowing the definition, I will tell you an example. You switch on the light and you won't stay, you will be not there. Okay, leave the light. I'll tell regarding the fan. You switch on the fan and you roam around, you go out, you come back after 1 hour, even the fan is switched on. At that time what happens? It is not necessary. You need to preserve all these things for the further generation. That is known as sustainable consumption. Even regarding water, you turn on the tap and you go somewhere, the water is flowing, you need to save the water for the future generation. This is known as sustainable consumption. Sustainable consumption is the use of material products, energy and immaterial services in such a way that it minimizes the impact on the environment using much electricity. Nowadays even the electricity can be produced with the help of wind and with the help of sunlight. All those things you can do in your home in spite of using or misusing your electricity or water or something, so that human needs can be met only in the present but also for the future generation. Not only you using the present generation electricity or water or something, which can be preserved and kept for the future generation also. That is known as sustainable consumption.